Welcome back to Moko Plays Satisfactory in our 1.0 Let's Play. Last episode we made some great progress with our iron production, so we've now got fully automated production of everything up to the assembler tier. So that's up to reinforced iron plates, rotors and modular frames. And we've got those as well as the more basic iron parts all being fed automatically back to a new storage area here as well. Offstream, I scaled out the concrete production a little bit, so we're now taking full advantage of this pure limestone node. So we've got 3 constructors there, making us 45 concrete per minute automatically. And then over on this side of the base, we've also refactored the copper production. This is all stuff that I did off stream, to essentially just take one of these pure copper nodes, run that through 4 smelters, and then have that going into constructors, making wire and cable and copper sheets, and again feeding those automatically back to base. So that's kind of the basics really taken care of in terms of the basic tech trees and production tiers. We've got all of the sort of everyday parts that we'll need being produced automatically and being sent back to storage here, so that we can just come and grab them whenever we do need something. And, you know, in some cases, we've started to saturate. You can see we've already produced enough cables to fill this storage thing. But as we come and grab some, because we need some for a build, we know that just automatically in the background, it's going to produce more and backfill anything that we do take here. Off-stream, I also scaled out our biomass burner area, so we're now running 15 biomass burners there, which is making full use of one constructor, creating solid biofuel. I went around and collected some more resources, so we should be good from a power point of view there now, and we've still got a bit of overhead. So max consumption, if all our machines were running at the same time, we're at 263 megawatts. We've got capacity, if all the biomass burners kicked in, which they would do if there was draw on all of them, up to 450. So we're using about 2/3 of our available power now with all of those machines. So we've still got a bit of overhead to expand into when we want to, which is pretty good. And while running around collecting leaves and resources, I started to collect other things as we were going as well. So started a little bit down the Caterium tech tree. We found our Caterium node, I think, in the last stream or the one before. So been through and grabbed enough ore to unlock Caterium ingots and set up a temporary little production chain here where I can just drop in Caterium ore and have that turn into Caterium ingots in a semi-automated manner. So we can go and use those to unlock that next tier now. We've got a few extra resources as well. Found our first coal node. Found some very scary boys over there, including a big spider, which I didn't manage to kill, but thankfully managed to get away from. Got some more sulfur. Found our first mycelia because I found a cave. And our first purple power slug as well. So we've got, and quartz, so we've got quite a bit to unlock in the MAM here. So let's take a look at that now. So we can unlock quickwire with some of these Caterium ingots.
Research completed. Quickwire recipe unlocked. New Caterium research available.
We'll need some quickwire to get the next tiers here. So what's worth doing is just extending this production chain with another constructor that can automatically create quickwire and store that for us. We can do a more automated version of this if we find a free Caterium node. The node that we found actually has some of those boulders that you have to explode in the way of putting down a an automated miner. So I've got a couple of portable miners on there at the moment because we don't have any explosion tech yet, and hence why that's over on our to-do list. Now that we've got coal, we should be able to make some headway on that. Yeah, let's just drop these Caterium ingots in there, and then as we pick up any Caterium ore around the world, we can just drop it into the back storage, and it'll make its way down towards the front as quickwire. Other research we can do. Haven't run into any hatchers yet, but we did run into some stingers. Those are spiders, so we can unlock this one.
The remains researched belong to an organism with 8 jointed legs, similar to the legs of arachnids but with non-standard distribution and function. Because its attacks focus on stabbing prey with the ends of their legs, which resemble insectoid stingers, they have been dubbed stingers. Stinger remains can now be made into alien protein, and additional research may reveal options for improving pioneer safety during exploration.
And we got some mycelia as well.
The mycelial networks of these fungi possess unusually resilient hyphae, which show potential for making a strong but lightweight natural fabric. Additionally, it has similar medicinal and pest control applications to mycelia on Earth.
I did not know that mycelia was a real thing. Today I learned. Okay, we don't have status to unlock this one yet. And we don't have explosives for this one. We should be able to get fabric though, which is cool because that should open up the way to parachutes, which will be handy. Power slugs.
Research completed. Yellow power slugs are further into their life cycle than blue power slugs, and thus have more potential energy stored. They can now be processed into power shards.
And we found a purple one as well, so we may as well unlock this. Yeah, we've got all of those things.
Research completed. Purple power slugs seem to be near the end of their life cycle and have a significant amount of potential energy stored. It is a good thing Fix-It does not waste. Purple power slugs can now be processed into power shards.
And synthetic power shards, this is real late game stuff. I'm not even sure what that resource in the middle is, but from the videos that Coffee Stain were putting out around 1.0, it seemed like this was like, yeah, using some of the alien tech and fairly late game. What we can do is create a power shard and unlock over an underclocking. That's well worth doing. We would in fact have used that in the iron assembler build if we'd had that ability, so it's worth us getting that. And then I'll need to just collect some more slugs as I'm out in the world before we're able to do any overclocking, but we can underclock for free, which will be pretty nice.
Overclocking development completed. Power shards can now be inserted into all buildings to increase input and output speed. Underclocking is also possible. Note: power consumption of overclocked buildings increases exponentially. The crystalline mineral was a previously unknown variation of quartz, with uniquely large and flawless crystals, normally only found in synthetic quartz. The industrial application of this mineral will follow that of its synthetic counterpart, specifically in communication and exploration technologies.
Now, I would quite like to find some more quartz around the place, because getting the Blade Runners is just a really great quality of life thing for moving around the world. So yeah, I'll make sure to keep an eye out for that. I just found a kind of one-off vein of it while I was exploring and got a little bit.
Research completed. Quartz crystal recipe unlocked. New quartz research available. Research completed. Black powder recipe unlocked. New sulfur research available.
Okay, and we can't do any explosion tech just yet, because we don't have a way to make steel pipes. I guess I could get some tickets and sink those in the Awesome Shop, but we're not there yet in terms of the Awesome Shop either, so... cool. I think that's about everything. Didn't find any extra hard drives. So we've got power shard tech now. Can't do explosion tech at the moment. And there was a Mercer Sphere we ran into out in the world as well, which we can go and build our way up towards. And then really the next thing we should be thinking about at this point is the space elevator and the smart plating that's needed for the first space elevator tier. We've got a couple of milestones left to unlock at this stage. Where we got resource sinking, which we can get now. And there's one more, maybe jump pads or something.
Milestone reached. You have been given access to the anti-waste effort for stress testing of materials on Exoplanet's bonus program, also known as Awesome. Your awesome input allows Fixit to comprehend our amazing universe more clearly. In appreciation of this, we have generously set up an internal, closed economy with exclusive rewards and currency. Directing parts of varying quantity and complexity into the Awesome Resource Sink will grant Fixit coupons. These coupons can be redeemed in the Awesome Shop for highly desirable items such as new foundations, walls, factory attachments, cosmetics, parts, and more. Next time you have additional resources, just remember to go that extra kilometer. Go awesome.
Yeah, so we've got everything in tier 0 and 1, and we just have jump pads left to unlock, which we'll be able to do now that we've automated rotors. So, the Awesome Sink. There's two buildings here. One is the Awesome Shop, which lets us spend tickets. One is the Awesome Sink, which generates tickets. And the way that it generates tickets is by if we dump any resources that we're producing that we don't need into here, it'll kind of consume those and give us tickets, and the cost per ticket kind of goes up exponentially throughout the game. And we can use those to get some nice quality of life stuff, and some stuff that's going to help with, you know, with getting around the world more easily, with organization, and also like cosmetic, you know, decorative items as well. One thing we should do then is drop one in here, given that we're already saturated in terms of cable production. There's no real downside to sticking a splitter in here and getting some coupons for that stuff. I'm not a fan of the way that the splitters clip through the belts when they're close together like this, so we'll just raise this one off the ground. If we drop our Awesome Sink somewhere here. And just give that some power. So one factor in terms of the number of tickets generated is the complexity of the material. Cable takes 2 steps to make, so I assume that's worth more than just actually, like, you know, sinking copper wire or copper sheets. And plus, I did go a little bit heavier on the cable production. I think over here we've got the nearest constructor to us that's just creating wire and sending that straight back to sink, and then we've got 3 constructors creating wire to go into these 2 constructors creating cable, so we're making a fair few per minute there. So this should be a nice little passive ticket generation while we're not needing this cable for automating any other parts at the moment. You can see we've got a coupon already, and this will just keep ticking up. The other thing that we can do is to create alien DNA, which we get by killing the enemies around the world and then processing those through a constructor, I think, and feeding those in, and you get more points per alien DNA than you do just for, like, sinking resources. But yeah, we can just leave this to tick up here. once we've got a handful of tickets, we'll take a look at the awesome shop and see what's in there that we might want to get hold of sooner rather than later. So yeah, next thing, let's go and take a look at that Mercer sphere. So here we are. I used the map marker so that I could find it again, which is pretty handy stuff. I do like this kind of system that lets you place stamps on a map. Very, very Breath of the Wild. Much prefer that to stuff just appearing automatically as you find it. It gives kind of a sense of ownership and helps keep some mystery around the world, which is pretty cool. And speaking of mysteries, this is a Mercer sphere, which these things have been in early access since before I started playing the game, but have never actually done anything. There was a couple of resources, these and the Summer Sloops and the SAM, or SAM as it's known now, that were in the game but didn't do anything. And people have, kind of long assumed it had something to do with the story that was coming when the game hit 1.0. So let's see what happens when we pick this bad boy up.
Follow the veins to the altar at hand. Harvest.
The astrobiologist Dr. D.M. Mercer was the first to recognize the presence and probable nature of these alien artifacts. These chain-melted state spheres are named in his honor. Each sphere emits a unique signal. Research it in the MAM to establish locally appropriate classification and application.
Cool. So from the 1.0 release streams, the alien tech, the Summer Sloops and the Mercer spheres, and the SAM are kind of late game tech, as I understand it. One of them factors into doing the, I forget what it's called. It's like a storage that you can access from anywhere. I think people are kind of calling it cloud storage for short. And one of them, there's some stuff that lets you like overclock your entire power network or something. Be fun to see and to experiment with some of that stuff. Let's see if we can take out these guys. Just kind of, oops, tempted to just run away, given there's two of them. But we should really be trying to get the alien protein stuff. I don't think I have any healing on me, although there is a berry right here. Oh, there he is. Come on. Nice. Cool. So yeah, let's head back to base. I'm grabbing some leaves and stuff as we go because I want to spin up some biomass production. We've got automatic biomass turning into solid biofuel, but I want some extra biomass for the mycelia tree so that we can create fabric and get parachutes. That's going to help us get around the world a bit. So we'll head back to base and pick up there. Cool. So just like we have done with the temporary quickwire and stuff, we can just drop some storage in here and build a quick construction chain for biomass. In fact, I think that sends through quite a lot, yeah, so if we make a Mark II belt, we'll get more quicker. Cool, let's go and take a look. Well, let's grab some quick wire while we're next to it and take a look at this mesosphere and see what it gives us.
Mercer sphere analysis completed. Established local planetary signature of massage 2, AB, in the local Mercer sphere signals, allowing them to be tracked by the object scanner. Mercer spheres can also transmit data between specific.
Witness our scripture, witness our windows. Have you come to defile our shrine? Sing us on.
Arguing the existence of intelligent alien life. While Fixit has figured out the method, all of the original data is still untranslatable.
Cool, nice and normal there. That mentioned something about the object scanner, which I will be honest is a thing that I never used in early access. I think I unlocked it once and it didn't kind of do what I was expecting it to do. This is years ago when I had my first playthrough now, and it's not something I've ever really thought about. So I wonder if they've added or changed something about that. I can't even really remember what the deal was with it now, but we'll have to give that a look. The dimensional depot, that's the cloud storage thing that we were talking about, but it needs SAM fluctuator, so I guess we need the SAM. I'm tempted to call it SAM ore, but I know it's not, it's just called SAM now. We need that tree as well. Okay, one for future then. Meanwhile, we can get the zipline, which will be very handy for world navigation while we don't have anything better.
Zipline unlocked. When equipped, the zipline facilitates travel along power lines, regardless of whether the line is powered. Note: based on previous Pioneer events, Fixit recommends not using ziplines during thunderstorms and typhoons, or while drinking coffee. New Caterium research options available. Congratulations on finding this metal. Many Fixit initiatives will benefit from Caterium's applicability in advanced engineering. Also, it is probably not sentient, and so unlikely to feel pain as we exploit it.
Cool. Well, yeah, this is going to open things up quite a bit. Smart splitters are something that I'd like to get to fairly soon. In fact, we can go towards that now. I didn't realize AI limiters were like this early in the tech tree.
Research completed. AI limiter recipe unlocked. New Caterium research available.
Cool, so if we're able to create a few of those, then we can start doing things with smart splitters, which will be very handy. Now that we've got the awesome sync, we can just, at the end of production lines, or kind of midway through, we can set one smart splitter output to overflow and one to prioritize. So let's say in our modular frame build, we're sending reinforced iron plates forward. If the modular frame assembler is saturated and it's got all of the reinforced plates it needs, we can just stick a smart splitter on that line and say, hey, send the rest back to storage, or send the rest to an awesome sink. And it means that we always know that we're prioritizing the more important thing, and then second priority is to, you know, store or sink what's left over, which is pretty cool.
Smart Splitter unlocked. The Smart Splitter offers advanced settings that can improve conveyor belt logistics.
Cool. And then, yeah, we don't have enough quickwire for any of the rest of this stuff now. Some of this is locked behind tech that we don't have as yet. But that's all good. That's good progress. Is there anything else? Yes, if we get our biomass, we can do the fabric and look at parachutes, hopefully.
Research completed. Fabric recipe unlocked. New mycelia research available.
Okay, so we need to create some fabric, which we should be able to do, and then we can get parachute, which will be nice.
Parachute unlocked. Fixit appreciates your willingness to descend rapidly to perform your duties, but damaging Fixit property is a breach of contract and will have unpleasant consequences. Improve descent efficiency by combining the forces of gravity and drag with a parachute.
Neat. Right, can't do this, can't do this, can't do this. Could do that with a bit more fabric, but I think I would rather parachute, TBH. Cool, only need to create one. Now parachutes are reusable, which was a change a couple of updates ago, I think. Let's grab an object scanner as well and see what it does. Nothing else we can do right now. Cool, so yeah, if we go somewhere high, I'll just drop some wood off in our biomass setup while I'm here. I think it's just space to jump and space again, and we can float with the greatest of ease, which is excellent. Nice. Let's get these jump pads unlocked.
Milestone reached. The Fixit jump pad combines high technology and innovation for optimized factory traversal and an ideal travel experience. Clarification. Ideal travel experience not guaranteed, individual results may vary. Pioneers are responsible for all workplace accidents resulting from jump pad usage.
Okay, grab that slug while we're out so we can make our first power shard. And yeah, time to do it with the space elevator and that smart plating then. So, what does this take? Stuff we've mostly got. We need some more cables, and we'll need some more. It's going to use all the rods we have. I'm not sure where I want to put this yet either. So let me do a little scouting around. We'll skip forward a bit and then get this space elevator down and look at setting up some automation for smart plating. Okay, so thinking about making smart plating, then I've had a look through recipes and done some resource planning. And I think what we want to do is to, rather than split off any of the existing resources we've got, we're just going to set up a production chain specific to smart plates. So we're going to tap another one of these iron ore nodes and use that, and we should be able to make 5 smart plates per minute without too much trouble. We don't need tons of them for the first tier of the space elevator. I think off the top of my head we only need 50, but we do continue to need it for later tiers, so it's worth putting in a little bit of effort now. So what we're going to do is add another run of smelters like this along at the far end of this iron platform, and we'll be transforming that into the things we need, which are rotors. So we'll be using screws and rods for that, and we need reinforced iron plates, so we'll be using plates and screws for that. So a kind of smaller version of what we've already got set up here to make those parts, and then at the very end we will have three assemblers, one of them running at half capacity to make smart plates. Now that we've got access to underclocking, we can balance this one a little bit better as well than we did in the previous build. Most of this is very similar to what we've done last episode, so I'll spin the video forward when we get to the interesting bit. Okay, so the first part of the build's pretty straightforward here. We're going to take 120 iron ore per minute and run it through 4 smelters, so giving us 120 iron ingots. That's exactly the same as the rest of the iron builds we've done. And those ingots are going to run down this line of constructors here. Now we want to make 5 smart plates per minute, so we need 5 reinforced iron plates and 5 rotors. 5 reinforced iron plates, we can do that in 1 assembler. So we need 30 iron plates and 60 screws for this one. So the first constructor has given us our 20 iron plates, and that means that the second one we can underclock down to 50%. So once you've unlocked underclocking and overclocking, you need power shards to overclock, but you can just underclock by editing any machine and just dragging down the slider. Or alternatively, if you know the percent or the amount that you want, you can just click into these fields and key that in, and it'll set itself. So we're just merging those two and sending that straight into the assembler. To get 60 screws, we're using our cast screw recipe, so that gives us 50 per minute per machine. So we're taking the entirety of this one, running it into this merger, and then we want 10 of this second machine. So what we're doing there is running it into a splitter to send some this way and some that way. And essentially what will happen is this machine's like consumption will make sure it doesn't take more than it needs anyway. But given we only want 60 per minute, what we can do is just make sure we run a Mark 1 belt here. We'll get the full 50 from here. This machine's 50 will come into this splitter, and it'll want to send 25 this way and 25 away from us. But this belt will back up, then this will back up. And then that means that we'll only get 10 per minute going this way, and the remaining 40 per minute will go down the line this way. So nice and easy to load balance that. When we're talking about numbers like 60 per minute, we can just rely on belt throughput to manage it, which is nice. And then for the rotors, we're going to do that in 2 assemblers. One running at full capacity to give us 4 per minute, and one running 25% capacity to give us 1 per minute. So yeah, that's the remaining 40 screws per minute from this machine, a full 50 from this machine, and then this one we've downclocked to only give us 35 per minute. So that all told gives us the 125 that we need to make 5 rotors. And then we also need rods. It's 20 rods per minute, so that's slightly more than 1 constructor, and then this one needs 5. So again, all we've done here, same as with the iron plates, 1 machine running at full capacity, and 1 configured to only give us 10 per minute. Because we're running this into 2 machines, what we needed to do was merge the outputs for the rods and for the screws onto a line, and then split them off again. So this is going to run into here and into here, and then the screws are going to run into that machine and into that machine, and then we'll merge the output of these two, and this gives us our 5 rotors per minute that we need. And all we need is 1 more assembler, which we can just sit kind of anywhere, really. Put it here, that'll line up quite nicely. We should be able to get the output of the other machine running into it as well. this needs is a recipe. Smart plates. Oh, right, yeah, we want more than this, don't we? So actually what we need is 2.5 assemblers. I got my maths confused. So what we'll do instead is, oops, point this merger forward. And we'll have a run of a few of them somewhere just ahead of where we are here. Okay, so let's merge those that way. And then we can just use the same sort of pattern that we were using for the other assembler build, where we have splitters in the exact center of the tile, like so. And then that should be the right distance to curve a belt down like that. Cool. Okay, unless I've forgotten anything, that should be everything hooked up. No, these guys need power. And then I actually had a power outage just now, ran out of leaves and stuff in my biomass setup, so I'll just need to go and re-hook that stuff back up before we can power on and connect the iron ore as the input as well, and then we should be able to see everything running nicely. So let me go fix that, and then we'll get this thing fired up. All right, that's all sorted and ready to hook up now. So let's give it a go and hope we've not made any mistakes here. Okay, that's had a few minutes to spin up now. I think we should be starting to see, yes, the green light's on the assembler furthest away from us, which means it's working. It takes a while for the, especially when you connect everything in one go, it'll take a while for the smelters to reach 100% efficiency, which means that it takes a while for those belts to saturate, and that means that the constructors that are furthest away take a while to start receiving their goods. But yeah, we are starting to see stuff come through, so pretty soon we should see our first smart plates come out. There we go. So the only thing that's really left to do now in this build is to get our space elevator set up. Nice to reach a big old early game milestone here. And we've got a big old space in the middle of our iron factory, so I think at least as a temporary home, this is going to be a good place for it. There we go. Let's have the controls facing the way we're normally coming in from. And just make sure that's not overhanging the edge of the platform too much. I think that looks pretty good. Let's go for it.
Project assembly initialized. Congratulations, Pioneer. The space elevator will now automatically connect with the Project Assembly orbital platform. Project assembly is divided into phases, each of which require the delivery of project parts, such as smart plating, via the space elevator. Subsequent phases unlock access to new tiers with more advanced technologies to construct, automate, explore, and exploit. It is time to be honest. This project is part of the Save the Day program, the largest united undertaking in human history, destined to save us all. Earth is in peril and only Fix-It pioneers offer hope for survival. Fix-It is counting on you. Humanity is counting on you. Do not let Fix-It down.
Well, and here I thought Fix-It were the bad guys all along, but it seems like we're doing this to save the world, so we should probably make sure we're, working nice and efficiently then. And that includes getting these smart plates straight into the space elevator. So yeah, we're producing 5 per minute. We need 50 for phase 1, so that needs to run for 10 minutes or so. Once everything is like, fully spun up, it is still kind of balancing itself out further down the build. So I think we're going to call it there for today. Pretty great progress, big old milestones in the early game. And yeah, got a couple of things that we want to dig into next time, not least of which is power. I did notice, as I had that little outage earlier on, that we are right on the borderline. So we have capacity for 450 and max consumption, as in if every machine on this grid is running at the same time, we're drawing it in excess of 400 megawatts. That's a little too close for comfort. So we'll want to either see how quickly, once we get to the next set of unlocked tiers, how quickly can we get to some more sustainable power like coal, or do we want to set up some extra biomass provisioning? But we'll take a look at that next time once we're able to get beyond phase 1 of the space elevator and start to look at tiers 3 and 4 of the tech tree. But yeah, good day's work all told for now. We've got a heckin' big building and we're producing the bits we need to for it, so I'd call that a definite win. So yeah, let's call it there. I'll say thanks for watching as always, and look forward to catching you on the next episode of this Satisfactory playthrough. Cheers.